Hello friends, Emily here from Homemade Emily Jane, here to tell you about a bold, versatile, and unique quilt pattern called the Cirrus Quilt Pattern. Cirrus is a modern block-based quilt pattern featuring some traditional shapes such as half square triangles that come together to make some scrappy flying geese. First, let's talk about the different sizes that the Cirrus Quilt Pattern includes. Of course, there's a baby size, and then I also have a lap size, a throw size, and a large bed size for the Cirrus pattern. Each pattern uses the same size blocks, but just more of them to make a larger quilt. If you're wondering about the difficulty level of the Cirrus Quilt Pattern, I definitely recommend it for intermediate quilters or sewists, someone that's comfortable sewing on the bias and has their 1/4 inch seam down pat. If you're not quite there yet, you might want to check out one of the more beginner-friendly quilt patterns in my shop, maybe Solitaire or Connector. The Cirrus Quilt Pattern includes 2 different variations. One of them is a scrappy variation, and that one I actually designed first, and it was intended to be able to be used with all different kinds of pre-cuts. So if you have a half-yard bundle, a fat 1/4 bundle, or maybe even a layer cake or a stack of 5-inch squares, all of those different pre-cut sizes are perfect for using to make this scrappy Cirrus quilt. During the design process, I also came up with this kind of modern twist on a gingham style. So it's a 3-color gingham using a dark, a medium, and a light of a particular color. And it comes together to make a gingham-esque Cirrus quilt. I really had so much fun with this, and I decided to include that version in the instructions as well. And for the gingham style quilt, you can actually do it using a strip piecing technique, so it saves some time. If you want to get the Cirrus Quilt Pattern, check out the description below for a link to my website, which includes my pattern shop. The quilt that's on the cover is this blue one. This is a gingham style version that includes 3 different colors in the gingham. So a light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue. The quilt blocks come together to make these giant flying geese. And I'll show you some pictures of this beautiful quilt right now. This is the throw size Cirrus gingham version of the quilt, and it comes to 68 inches square. It's made with solids from PBS fabrics, and it features a quilting design from my long arm quilter that was a computerized edge-to-edge design called Eyelet from Urban Elements. It was quilted using a light gray glide thread. Now it's time for me to show you the different Cirrus quilts that I made while prepping for this pattern release. I had so much fun making the scrappy version that I ended up making 2 baby quilts and a throw size quilt that were all different kinds of scrappy. Shown here is the first baby size scrappy Cirrus quilt that I made using a stack of 5-inch squares from Connecting Threads. The backing fabric on this is a cuddle fabric from Shannon Fabrics, and the quilting design is called Rockstar from My Creative Stitches. I also made a very similar baby size scrappy Cirrus quilt using these bright pink and yellow fabrics. These are mostly just 5-inch squares from my fabric stash paired with some 5-inch squares from Connecting Threads. The backing fabric on this is also a cuddle fabric from Shannon Fabrics, and the quilting design is called Daisy Doodle from Urban Elements. I had a lot of fun taking pictures of this bold and bright baby quilt. And the third scrappy quilt I made for my Cirrus Quilt Pattern is this throw size featuring the Gingham Gardens collection by My Mind's Eye for Riley Blake Fabrics. This collection was so much fun to work with, and I ended up using a half-yard bundle to make the throw size Cirrus quilt, and I backed the quilt in a Target sheet backing, and the quilting is done in a orange peel design by my wonderful long arm quilter. I'd love to share with you some others that my quilt testers have made, but if you want more details on the ones that I have made, be sure to check out the description below where I'll link some of the blog posts that I wrote about them. That's where you can find information on everything about the quilt, the fabrics, the quilting, the techniques that I used. So here we go, let's dive in to see what my wonderful testers have made as well. This scrappy baby quilt was made by Catherine from Ickle Quilts. She used the Kona Not So White charm pack and a solid white background, and I really love the way that she combined machine quilting with hand quilting to pull this quilt together. Next up is a scrappy baby size quilt from Ashley from Whaling City Quilt Co. She used the Lily and Loom Bear Mountain fabric from Blueprint, and I really love how she chose a background fabric with a print on it. I think it came together very nicely. Here's another example of a baby quilt using a bold background fabric. This baby quilt was made by Nicole of Little Sister Sewing, and I really love how those teals come together. Nicole did the backing and the binding in this fun geometric print. And finally, I'll share with you this lap size made by Rosie Girl Quilting. They chose to use these really fun, vibrant 5-inch squares and a nice dark background fabric for theirs. Thanks so much for watching this video about the Cirrus Quilt Pattern. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you're inspired to make one of your own. If you want more quilting tips, tricks, and inspiration, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a thumbs up, and check out homemadeemilyjane.com.